everybody. Have a good summer.
Thanks for listening, everyone. We'll be back midsummer to check in with a live
This
or something.
my episode, and I will decide when we leave. I
just did. I thought we were ending.
I'm sorry.
I'm just kidding.
I need a break.
Welcome to Talk Like a Mother Parenting Autism Podcast. We are Jen, Kim, Rachel, and Jaime. Take a seat at our table as we share with hope, humor, and honesty.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining our No Reservations on our The More We Know series. This is kind of like our wrap-up episode, and we had a lot of great guests on this series. We had BCBA, Mary Ellen, who I've known for years, and she just opened up her own little place because she likes ABA done her own way, which I love. I think is great. We had on Kayla King, who told us all about service dogs and
dogs.
Yeah, dogs. Yep. How you go about get it? You want to get a dog? Yeah. Oh, Alyssa wants a dog.
Yeah.
The whole process on how she got them and the different jobs they do with her son. That was a really interesting episode. We had a swim instructor who specializes in special learners, and she was very, very passionate about swim safety with our children. That was a great episode, and I might be impartial to the episode we did on becoming an SLP with Kira.
Hey.
Yeah, she came on and told us about, she's in her undergraduate still. She's majoring in communication disorders. She's going to be an SLP, and she's been learning all these little interesting tidbits that she came on and shared with us and shared her process with us. So that was a great episode too. So we named this episode The More You Know, because, the more we know, the better it is, and the better we can understand our children. And I feel like when we have more understanding, sometimes there's more patience, even though some of these things you already know. When you hear, like, for me, when I hear like, oh, that's an actual thing, there's a name for this thing that she does, and it's a common thing that a lot of people with autism do. It's like, oh, to me, that's helpful.
It like arms you.
Alyssa just said that's helpful. I'm not even kidding.
You're so smart, Lulu.
Teach us, Lulu, for our next.
She's like, yeah. She's like, you happy? Oh, I love that. She's like, yeah, have more patience with me, Mom.
Yeah. She's like, you had my sister on there. Now it's my turn to be on there.
Understand my bullshit, okay?
What I loved about this, so the way this series came together, I kind of loved, because like Dana reached out to us. Kimmy's like, oh, I would love to have Kira on. I think Jen brought up having Kayla on, and then Mary Ellen had like listened to the podcast and told Kimmy, and Kimmy's like, oh, we should have Mary Ellen. Like, so it's just like all these people that like organically kind of came on the podcast. Like,
yeah,
usually we think of a series and then we're like, okay, who can we have on? But instead, like, this series was kind of born out of, like, okay, we have all these cool people. What should we call this series? And it was kind of just like extra information. So it was like things that all are in the parenting autism realm. We just like squished a bunch of, like, it almost seems random together, but it was like, no, this is all really good information to have. And I like
also what it ended up being, which we wouldn't have known when we scheduled, was that each and every one of these folks in this series specifically is like fire in the belly, passionate about it. Like watching Kira literally take her 5'0" frame and like make it 5'2" because she was so jacked to talk about something, like, is so cool. Dana cried moments after she got off the recording with us and emailed us immediately. Like, Mary Ellen has been on. I just think it's so cool how free the people are with like the broad view that they have, because they're so passionate. Like, Kayla could talk about the differences of emotional support animal and a service animal for 2 more hours if we.
And
had
she's
let her.
quiet. I mean, you don't know on the podcast,
and it's fascinating stuff.
She's so passionate about it that it's like, bam, bam, and she's like knows her stuff. We should have called this like people with passion or something, but we didn't. Like,
yeah,
it was a good series.
And I think, I said this when we interviewed Kira, the thing, I think it's interesting because you kind of learn what they learn and how it's looked at now versus stuff that we heard about when our kids were diagnosed, but also because she's a sibling to her sister on the spectrum. So you have that side of it too, plus the school stuff. So I think just combined.
Yeah, it's
just interesting.
I know one of you guys were like, oh, how do you think this makes you like interact with other people like in the world? And of course it's like, that's a hard question to answer yourself, but I know like she'll come home and be like, yeah, this kid, and she's like, some of the other people don't like him. And she's like, I'm pretty sure he might have autism, because she knows certain things to look for. And then she's always can be compassionate with that person and kind of say, there was a roommate one year of a guy she was dating, and then there was some conflicts, and Kira was kind of like, well, she didn't come out and say, oh, he has autism, but she's she was able to kind of advocate for him behind the scenes, without him, like, without knowledge really, but like, because she kind of had the understanding of like the way he was, with certain things. And I've seen that across both of my two younger children, like, people they have come in contact with, and they kind of have a lot of, I think empathy and compassion and understanding. Like, some people
almost
just don't,
though, that you are drawn to the underdog because you can see their plight. That is a truth among Mary Ellen too. Like, she discussed how her stutter impacts how she can connect with the kids that she's with. And I mean, like, everything for each of these experts this series, something hit so home that it just lit them up,
This is an informative series.
Yeah.
Another one is really
With-
informative.
really seeing how passionate she is about this, like, because she's going to school for it. I know all this, and she does get excited about learning certain things. She always comes back and like, tells me different things. It's really cute. But like, really seeing her like talk about it,
well, like when I asked her like what was her favorite thing, and she got like Rachel pointed out, she gets like all excited and like,
Excited, yeah.
Because I mean, normally we're just talking to Kira about boy stuff, so it was like so cool to talk to her about this and see like how excited she was about it.
Well, I think between the daycare and Alyssa, it just brings in so much different awareness and understanding to what she's learning. Because obviously in the daycare you see all kinds of developmental differences, not necessarily always autism, but we just see a lot of different, kids that have, it could be home stuff, it could be learning stuff, it could just be that they're a little behind at the time, and then they kind of catch up. And then you have the kids that are, on the typical path too. But I think it really just helps her with learning, I never thought she would go into this field. Like, I never thought that she would do that. She was like, oh, I'm going to help people like my sister. Like, it just kind of like unfolded in a different way. But it's still pretty cool.
Well, it's like us, like, when we talk about like the idea of like getting a job in this field, like being a para for kids on the spectrum and stuff, it seems so overwhelming to us because it's our day to day. So it's so cool to see these siblings who are like better than us, because they're like, oh, I want to learn more about this. And I mean, we want to learn more about it, but we don't necessarily want to like it be our home life and our work life. And amazing for the people who do that. But it's kind of cool when you see these siblings like Amanda Owens, like how she's made that her life's work because of her brother. Also, like I just think that's so cool. And I love that Kira's like, doing it.
It was cool to listen to Mary Ellen discuss the differences of things. Like, specifically, she talked about how when she was entering the field, coming from much like Kira's lived experience, she had this like early childhood experience, like from daycares and stuff. And that she gets into the field and sees from this like artsy sing-song, like wonderment, positivity perspective, that she sees all these people that are like joining the industry, but they're so clinical because they have a psychology background, because they have this and that. Like, I don't know. I wish you could just filter all those peeps. Like, tell me what your passion is, tell me why you joined the industry, and tell me what you love about research, like about changing everything that you think this year is going to be different next year. But somehow each of the people we had on this series is progressing the industry in their lane. Like, I don't know. I just love it. Kira was so cute because there was this point where, I don't know, maybe Jean, you asked like what's next or what's so exciting about class or something like that. And she goes, now my audiology class is tying into my other class, which is teaching into my other class. And like, you could just feel the energy of knowledge. Like, her lived experience is now being explained through these theories and through this information. I just, it's cool to like watch her network it all together, and I love it.
It's just nice to see when someone's excited about something,
And then Dana, 10,000 miles. Are you kidding me? She is going, like, I don't know if we talked about this enough in the episode, but Dana, who teaches water safety, discussed with us after the episode the differences between like water safety and swim lessons. And out of that comes her desire to expose people to like this need for responsibility around water, and to have a place in a space for safety, and these like 3 key foundational things where your kid waits, you're with them, and families swim together, that like she's taking that across the country because she saw that nobody was doing it, and that people can teach swim lessons, but that's a business and they're trying to make money, and it's different than a desire to save children's lives. I mean, crazy. It's so cool.
All we know aside, we also got to do something kind of fun this week because we recorded our first Bridgerton series. So that was pretty fun.
Yeah, I was going to say that too. So we actually will not be recording our regular like episodes for a good chunk of the summer, which is the kind of the first time we've taken breaks before, but I think this is the longest break we're taking. But we will still be recording Bridgerton, so we will still be with each other. And it's been fun doing this show.
I am a new fan. I am a new fan.
And yeah, so we did that yesterday, which is kind of rare. We don't really record too often on the weekend. So
well, that's why I was so confused today. I was like, oh, because we recorded yesterday. So then I thought today was Tuesday. All day. Thought it was Tuesday. Really disappointed.
Guys, we basically have no circadian rhythm because we are joined together through autism. None of us have that anymore. So we only can rule what day it is according to whether or not we record, and that's always on a Monday. So when something is cockamamie, we are just like messed up.
We're going to be
like
lost
MEA
this whole
break.
summer because we're not.
I know.
We will still have episodes coming out too. I want to make that clear. We have backlogged, recorded episodes, and we're going to be doing some fun, really good replays that we still want everyone to listen to because they're some of our best episodes. And we're adding, like we did with the Temple Grandin episode, we're adding a little snippet at the beginning of like the background of the episode and stuff, which I think have been kind of fun, and it's fun to revisit those.
It reminds me, James, maybe you're too young for this, which might make me hate you a little bit. It's only slightly, don't worry. But there's this VH1 behind the music thing. So like, you know that?
I know it.
All right, girl. Because of the she knows it, people. Anyway, it feels like that, like that sort of like behind the scenes scoop. Yeah. It's cool. It's been fun.
When I was young, really they had nothing to play on VH1 anymore, so they just replayed old episodes.
Yes.
Yeah.
What were those little
pop-up
videos?
You rented a VCR because they weren't like out and about. You would.
I did own some laser discs. I did own the laser disc player. It's
Sealy sat in the back seat of our car. What?
Sealy
sat. Yeah, let's address that.
Those are like pre-VCR. They're like these giant discs, and they would have a movie on them.
We had those.
It looks like a record, but they are like, I mean, more like a record than anything else, really.
Yeah.
But it's like, video.
Almost like a floppy disk, but like, right? Like,
oh my God, she said floppy disk.
Yeah, we had those too.
Sorry, Rach, go on. Sorry to interrupt with my laser disc.
Oh yeah, Sealy Flanagan sat in the back seat of the car. So we have this, like, our new car is a 2013, 2011. Like, that's what the new car is. And so I, of course, there's a tape deck in our old car and a CD player in the new car. So I got to like bust out my zipper pack CDs. And she goes, Mom, are these your records? I'm like, could you just get out of the vehicle? And yes, those are my records. You'll be cooler if you understand. Give me the Michael Jackson one.
Did anyone have that? Like, remember when we had like all the Discmans after the Walkmans, the Discmans, but then you had, like this cassette tape that you put in your car and then it would plug into your
Yes.
You remember that?
Yes. It plugged into the headphones of the thing.
Yep, the jack.
Right, the headphone jack. Yeah, so funny.
I'm so old that I remember when you got the Walkman where you could press the button and it flipped the tape for you. You didn't have to like take it out and flip it over.
Yeah.
That's what you used to. And then they had these ones that you could like press the button and it like automatically flipped tape. Thought that was the best thing ever.
I remember when iPods were launched and people just thought that was like
the biggest.
Can I tell you a funny story about that? So the other day, Jesse loves listening, Amelie and Jesse love listening to songs on my phone. And I was talking to my friend, I was like, I wish there was just a thing like a phone, but they could just choose music and play it. And I was like, that's an iPod, Jamie. Although I do need the music videos for some of the songs, but I was like, you idiot, that's a freaking iPod. I don't think they make iPods or MP3 players anymore, but I just need that for my kids because I don't want them having a smartphone, but I want them to be do their jams.
Well, get them a smartphone and just not add the phone service.
But I don't want them to be able to get on Wi-Fi and like games and social media and all that. I don't, because my daughter already knows how to use Snapchat. She's like,
oh my God, my daughter asked me for, what's it called? I almost said Tinder. What's it called?
I don't know, but if she figured it out, maybe she can hook me up when I'm there.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
giving you a Duke when you're here. Duke like Bridgerton.
TikTok?
No, Concord, but it's not. Wait,
The
it
Concord.
sounds like Concord. It sounds like that big airplane. What's that? Cricket? I don't know. Anyway, she asked for this thing and I was like, no, there's predators on there. And she's like, Mom, predators are hawks. I'm like, no, listen, you are not, like, she's thinking the bird of prey. I'm like, Jesus, you're not getting on the Concord. Okay. We are not doing, what's it? I don't know what it's called.
Because Ari went on Roadblocks.
Might
and
be
she,
a cricket, might be a Concord. We don't know.
she was
Yeah.
talking to a boy and she told the boy she was 17. This is my 7-year-old niece.
Shut up.
She said her name was Lexi. So she's pretending to be Lexi. And
She can't
she's like, no, you can't do that. First of all, you can't lie about your age. She goes, I didn't lie. She's like, I said I was Lexi. And we're just like,
Oh my God.
I have Jesse does play Roblox, but I have that shit locked out. He can't talk to anyone else. I mean, Jesse still can't read, but I have the chat locked. He can't chat with anyone. But it's scary.
I'll tell you something. My daughter, I thought we were pretty dialed in, even though she's had the gateway to hell iPhone since she was age 6, which is like irresponsible, but it's what we do. She came home from school today. She has 3 days left of the goddamn 3rd grade. And she goes, Mom, I got a new subscriber. And I was like, oh, what does that mean? Because like, it's all these like, you know, she's like, if she likes dinner, she's like and subscribe.
Yeah.
So I just thought it was some bullshit. Well, no, she hands me her goddamn phone. She started a YouTube channel and she has 5 videos on there that she shot with her classmates and her teacher. And Mr. Josh is her first subscriber. I'm like, what are you learning at this school? Web design? She's got followers. I'm like, we've been doing this since May 18th and I had no idea. She's got her own YouTube channel. What the F? I mean, we need experts. Like, I need a swim safety for cell phones. I need Dana to change her lane.
I do too, because people say we'll restrict it. I can't now. She's had full access to it. And even Chelsea's like, she's already like the bridesmaid video when everyone's like, and Chelsea's like, it's already there. She's already seen it.
Can't take it away.
She's not gonna unsee it. It's there.
Amelie has a YouTube channel, but she thinks that I mean, I've told her that it's like private, but I feel she doesn't quite understand. She thinks it goes out to the world, but it's like only like my family members can see it. And it's just like cute little videos.
Yeah.
But she like wants to be like and subscribe, which is like whatever about my parenting. Kids know that, but it's cute. But I think about when I was young. So when I was like pre-puberty, AIM was hot. I was on there talking to like college guys as like an 11-year-old, like, hey.
Or that you have people like, the internet, which I know you do access so many more people, but like we used to have the party lines, you know, you'd be talking to all the people, you'd call the number. And you'd be
party lines.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, you would just call random people?
No. So it would be like, you'd call the party line, which was like a specific number, but all different people would call the same number. So you'd all be in like almost like a chat room, but on the phone. And
and
it would be like
calling.
This is like Michael from Cambridge, and you're like, I'm Kim from Dorchester, and like there'd be like other kids in there that you'd like talk to, and sometimes people like exchange numbers, and like sometimes there'd be like people you like knew on there already, but like you kind of go on with like you and your friends would call, and then you talk to whoever was in the.
That could have been our podcast. Talk like a mother on the party line, just whenever showed up.
Well, I remember the phone. I mean, I'm sure you all do too. Before caller ID, I mean, you think about it now. Like, no, you don't even answer caller ID. Like, if someone calls blocked now, you don't even answer it. Except doctors call blocked, and they warn you ahead of time. It will be a no caller ID.
I try to my kids. I'm like, you literally did not know who was calling, so you picked up the phone, and they're like, what? It's like you had to pick up the phone, and you had no idea who was on the other end of it, and
you had to call your friends' parents to ask for your friends.
Because these are like home numbers.
Yeah, so you'd be like, hey, Mr. Carter.
Or if a boy were to call you, they had to call your house, so your parents would answer the phone.
Yeah.
And they better not call after 9.
Weird?
Don't call after
I'm on the different side of things. So like, again, my daughter has the gateway to hell iPhone, and she is 9 and she has no social norms. So she is adding all of her friends from her school into her phone, and then like the baseball friends and whatever else. And then I'm this like helicopter mom who understands that my kid is vulnerable. She also will blow up your kid's shit. So I'm trying to prevent my daughter from calling your kid 17 times at 4 a.m. because she needs to tell him about the roadblocks when like, I mean, she plays Minecraft, but whatever. Like I'm trying to start these relationships like, oh, hey, classmates, parents, just want to let you know your student has my daughter's cell phone number and they're texting. Is there any goals that you guys have? Because I'm trying to make sure she doesn't call you at 3 a.m. And they're like, no, you've got goals. What do you mean? Like they're acting like I'm like the most ridiculous, heinous bitch. I'm like, listen, I'm just trying to prevent what I know is going to happen. And by the way, like my daughter's going to answer your kid's FaceTime without clothes on. So like, I don't know what to do about it. I don't know what to do about it. Oh, it's terrible. The gateway.
Nothing's easy.
Phones are hard. I mean, nothing is easy, but what's
Well,
that
yeah.
Concord called still? I don't know. We'll have to cut
All I
that
can
in
think of is
later.
the plane. Isn't that the
Me
plane that
too.
went really fast?
I gotta look. Oh, do you guys remember that thing called like chat roulette? My sister used to do this chat roulette. So you'd like log in and then there'd be some random, right?
Yeah, there's kind of something still like that, but it's video chat.
Know that.
But this thing, there was this thing called Hot or Not, which I guess was actually like the very start of Facebook, which is random, like what you like practice with. But me and my friends would get on there and people put up their pictures and you voted whether or not they thought they were hot or not. Like, man, the self-confidence people. I would never want to put my picture up for the internet.
And that's before filters.
Yeah. By the way, I just want to update the folks. It's called Discord, not Concord.
Oh,
so you're not getting peanuts on your Discord.
I was like, man, whatever this is, I've not heard of it, but I have heard of Discord. I don't have a Discord, but I've heard of it.
Me either.
I do have a Reddit, but I don't really get on there.
Me too.
A lot of people on TikTok have feel like, oh, join our Discord, blah, 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 blah.
Well,
TikTok,
yeah, apparently they don't have birds of prey
understand the
there, but they
TikTok.
do have predators.
I don't know what FYO pages or FYR. I don't know what it's called.
FYP.
Yeah, that FYP. I don't get what that is.
that's like your Facebook feed, but on TikTok, basically.
TikTok. TikTok.
We know Alyssa likes.
I love every time she says TikTok, she dances. Yeah.
Come show them. Come show them.
I'm excited about the summer. I'm excited for all of our listeners. I wish we could have like a call in and tell us your plans. Do any of you guys have camps and stuff for your kids arranged?
My daughter had like a STEM day camp thing her first week of summer, but that's already done. Well, the first 4 days of summer, because Memorial Day, they didn't have it. Now I'm on my own with them.
Yeah, 89 more days.
Well, I'm off of work the week of the 4th of July, so I'm very excited about that.
Yeah,
Just
that
not to
is
work.
exciting.
Maybe that's when I'll finish the book.
Yeah, I know you just passed your year. Jen, do you guys have more things on the horizon?
Yeah, this is the first year ever I've registered into a camp. So we'll see. I don't know. I actually have the call tomorrow with all the details. I mean, I don't think she'll do the full days. Like, I think it'll probably be like a half day kind of thing where I'll pick her up at lunch, like after lunch, but it'll be good for her.
Such the autism mom answer. What'd you say? You're like, we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. Because you never know. It could go good. It could not go at all.
Yeah.
It doesn't change. So that's like the one good thing about adult services.
Yeah.
I love that. Do they do more like field trip-ish when it's nice out, like where they get out of the building more, or kind of the same routine?
Well, they do the pool twice a week.
Yeah. Yeah.
We'll see how that goes this year because she's already been having a really hard time at school these past few months. So I don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like they do. And then when it gets hot, they do less again, if that makes sense.
That makes, yeah, I get that.
Because they have a track they do doggy daycare, Meals on Wheels. In the building, they do like art. I guess she doesn't exercise anymore.
Me neither.
Who could blame her?
She's like her auntie and her mother.
Mhm.
She goes through phases.
And they do art. They do, what else do they do? Yoga. Sometimes they do Zumba, stuff like that.
That's cool.
What fun vacations do people have this summer?
I just have to say, it has been 10 years since I have been in Montana, and in like 28 days, my husband, my daughter, and I will be there. I can hardly breathe about it. I think I left part of my spirit there. Like, that was like we've lived in Montana twice, Billy and I. We had so much grief there in our adoption process, but so much growth there, both of us professionally. and we both built community because we showed up with nobody but each other. And so like he had the guys from the fire department and I had the girls that worked with me in the spa or at all these, different positions and stuff. So I'm just so excited because after 10 years, we know the people we need to see. We know the places that we need my daughter to experience. Like we brought her to Arizona a couple of years ago. We were podcasting then. So like I shared about that trip then. We got into Sedona, which is extraordinary. My daughter would watch YouTube videos about stuff just like Sedona. So I thought she was fixing to be into it. She rolled down the window from a rest stop parking lot and was like, those are red. I rolled it back up and went back to her YouTube. But in this case, it's like we are planning the trip for the kid that we have right now. So my friend is literally burying huge bones in her yard, like a from the butcher dog, like a dog bone in her yard so that my daughter can dig up a dinosaur.
Oh, that's awesome.
So I'm just very excited because we know so much about what Sealy can and cannot do. And it's really just about getting me to the mountains, getting Billy to his dudes, getting us to those restaurants, and letting her experience these little slices each day of the stuff we love. And I can hardly wait. I don't think I've been more anxious about not anxious at all. Just excited about it being a reality that we can actually achieve,
Well, it's so fun taking your kids to those places that are significant to you.
Yeah. And she feels a lot of connection to Montana. If you were to talk to her about it, because she's named after Sealy Lake, Montana. She knows we lived there. She, I don't know. I mean, she even calls tabs tabs for Montana. So I think she's going to be open. And if not, there's so much, dirt to dig in and friends of ours that understand. We're driving, which is actually the most terrifying part of the whole thing. But we've connected with our pediatrician about options if things don't go well. We've got rescue meds that are new that we'll just be able to use. And I don't really have any shame in that. We're just going to use all of our tools to keep her safe and get her there. We're staying in a tiny house, which is ridiculous, but I didn't want to spend any extra money besides on the adventures, and we'll just be outside the whole time.
Yeah. Well, we're traveling this summer. My kid's pretty excited.
Oh, where are you going?
Soda. And we got an Airbnb that Rachel told me, because I would send her the areas and she's like, that's a hard no. I'm like, okay. Because I don't know. I mean, I don't even know where I live. I'm the worst. I can't give anyone directions. I won't give you them correctly. So I'd send Rachel the areas anyway. So this place is really close to her house. Apparently it's across the street from a liquor store and a Pizza Hut. I'm like, well, I don't even have to leave the place. It's perfect. Thank you, Minnesota.
I'm excited about that. You're coming the week after we do this camp. And so we'll be able to have a pool party with the Swensons. And the only thing I'm sad about your trip, Jen, is that you're not on a Miracle League game night, because that is an experience here with our peeps.
Oh, I'm kind of bummed about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're excited about that. My kid she doesn't like malls. She doesn't like the chaos of it, but she's really excited to do the Crayola experience and ride some rides in the Mall of America. So that'd be nice.
Those things are exciting, but they're also not a half day thing. So it's good to get in, check the shit off the list and roll out.
That's the kind of, that's how you go in. You get her done and you get
bye.
Yeah.
We're going on a trip, which will have already passed by the time this episode comes out, but we're going to California the trip was planned with my husband's family. So my mother-in-law, my sister-in-law, I brought along one sister, and then my other sister who has a son that's friends with our nephew on the other side, and Jesse Nomley's best bud. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of a mixed family of both pieces of both of our family going to Anaheim. We're going to do Disneyland and we're going to do Universal, but we're going to do beach and pool and all that stuff too, which will be a lot of fun. Mm-hmm. And Jesse won't stop talking about it. The lights he's going to ride. And if anyone's familiar with Disney's Disability Pass, at Disneyland, they're changing it literally right after we go, but we were able to access it the way it was before, which has a little more leeway than the new way. So I just did that call a few days ago, and the person was great. The cast member lady was really great.
Do you know what the new way is going to be?
Yes, I kind of do. It's a lot stricter. It's mainly, it seems and this could adjust by the time this even comes up because they're already getting some blowback. I know for a fact that the rates of people they were having on this pass in the park were like insane. Like some days it was like 25% of the park were people not necessarily with the disability, but on the pass with the people with disabilities. So like it could be one person with the pass and then like 5 or 6 people could ride with them. And so all these people were like in the, what they call the like lightning lane. And so those lines were even getting really long because of that. So they're trying to cut back on people taking advantage of the program. And there were a lot of people doing it who did not apparently need to do it. I mean, I don't want to judge anyone because I also feel like you could see someone and not see their invisible disability. But now they're cutting it down to like, you can only have 4 people on the pass with you in general. It's supposed to be immediate family, but obviously like adults going with disabilities and stuff, they're not always going to be a family.
Yeah.
So I some leeway in that, but just in general, it's just really strict. It's really only people with autism and developmental disabilities getting the passes.
Well,
So if you have like a physical disability or anything like that, they're basically just telling you to get a wheelchair and wait in the regular line, which is kind of sad, or they're telling them to pay for the fast pass. So I don't know. We'll see what happens with it, but it sounds like they've cut it down a lot. And a lot more people are being denied for it.
Are they doing it the same way as like they do it electronically and you pick the times and all that?
Yes. There used to be a thing where if you pre-registered before, you could pick 2 rides before you even go that you get. They're taking that away. So it's just you pre-register, you have to wait the length of what the line is, and then you can go ride it.
See, we went last year and we had that pass, but then I don't know, we got some other thing. We just went where we wanted, when we wanted, and just flashed this card. And that card basically.
But that was universal, right?
That was universal, yes. That was universal, yeah. Which is where she wanted to be at Mario the whole time. So that's where we spent.
That kind of stinks.
James,
we're a family of 5. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I'm sure there's like some leeways of it, but they're out front, they're putting that they're being pretty strict about it. And I think that's just to kind of get people away from like
as a gatekeeper,
because people were like faking disabilities and stuff, which is messed up. And it's really a disservice to our kids because, you know, just talking to the lady about for Jesse, like she was so nice and validating about things. And like, she's like, yeah, he just doesn't understand that he has to get off the ride and then get back in line or wait another hour. Like, and so I don't know, like, it sucks because one of my biggest things before Jesse was diagnosed, we did a Disney World trip and I have a sister and a brother-in-law who work for Disney. And I had a really hard time accepting the fact that we needed the disability pass. Like it was like making autism official for us. And then I was talking to my brother-in-law and he was really sweet. And he's like, this is why it's here. And that's okay. Like your son could not do it without it. And then what would be the point, you know? So
yeah.
Yeah, it's allowed to get a day with or without that pass.
Yes.
Gotten used to having this benefit. It's like she's done it, not all her life. The first 2 times we went, they didn't have it yet. But since then, so it's like for her to like now go and like do it the regular way would be so hot. Like she wouldn't be able to do it. It would
well,
just
I do say with Jesse, like it's not even like we ride every ride with it or anything. We don't take advantage of it like in any which way because Jesse just wants to stand there and watch. Last time me and him spent an hour watching Slinky Dog ride people. We didn't even ride it. So
and I will say they were really nice at Universal and Disneyland. Disneyland. They were really nice. Like I found from the circuit, like the person you dealt with, right to the only thing those passes aren't good for, obviously, are the meet and greets. But I'm a big one about asking. It doesn't hurt, and I'm also very big about how you approach people and ask them. If you're kind about it and you're nice and you don't jump all over them, they tend to be very accommodating. I went up to every character that she wanted to meet, like Mario, Princess Peach, whatever. And I spewed my spiel to their people. They're like, not a problem. Every single person said, bring her here, right here, like literally right to the front. She got to meet them. And then on we went. And that was all she cared about, was just that initial meeting. So I hope you get really kind people like we did, James.
Yeah.
James, have you guys done Disneyland before, or this is your first time because you're really a Disney World fan?
We've done Disneyland when Jesse was like 22 months old. So
okay,
it was before we knew, and we didn't need because he could only ride like the little rides at that point anyway. But we have not been with either of my kids being a little bit older. So, but I have done Disneyland, but there's been a lot of changes since I went to Disneyland.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
and you're flying, and then are you staying?
They have a great margarita stand. Just want to let you know.
Love that. Bring a slugger. Are you guys staying at a place like with all the troops, or did you get a hotel nearby? Like, what's the deal there?
No,
Did you
so my
pick-
mother-in-law has a timeshare, which is really
Oh,
nice
that's
that
right.
she lets us. I mean, so she like saves up her timeshare and she gets us each like a little condo. So we're bringing one sister along and she's gonna like room with us because it has 2 rooms and like a pull-out couch thing and a kitchen and a washer dryer. So it has all the things that we
Yeah.
kind of need in this life, and that makes everything easier. Like just being able to like make sure we have Jesse's food that he likes, and in general not having to eat out all the time because
And you know what's even more than, I mean, so many of those things are important, but like to have a room that he can go and close the door to,
Yeah.
or a closet that he can go get into. Like, I'm not trying to be silly. Like, Celie needs a closet to go close herself in, like a room where you shut the door and barricade, like where she's not with people, to have spaces like that. So good.
And it's kind of, I am not a pro like timeshare person. Like I could never like, because you hear like the timeshare things, but it is nice that they have these places set up. Like it's like made like a mini little apartment and like, yeah.
Yeah, it's so cool.
But that's
So-
always that's my stipulation now when I'm looking at an Airbnb. I'm like, it has to have a dishwasher because I don't want to do dishes on vacation. And now I
Yeah.
really like having a washer and dryer. It's just convenient.
Yeah.
And yes, I do bring a wash cycle cube to put in the washer before I use it, so it sanitizes it. Yes, I do.
Oh my
But
God. You guys,
that's
I'm
that.
trying to find a house with Jenn Dunn over the past couple of weeks. And I'm like, oh, look at this place. Blah, blah, blah. Well, why don't you do a hotel? What if the other girls come? Like you guys. And then I was like, look, this one has a stove in it and a dishwasher. And then you have laundry on your floor. And she's like, like you can hear her hit the e-brake in BC. I'm like, oh, sorry.
There'll be no on the floor. No.
No.
Kimmy, are you guys going anywhere this summer?
So I think we're gonna do a few like long weekends as opposed to like a one big one because prices are like astronomical right now. Everywhere I look, it's crazy. Like, yeah. And I don't really want to pay. So we're gonna do a biggie in January, a rowboat type.
To our listeners,
These are
Kim
typos.
has someone that we love that's on the spectrum near her right now, and she cannot talk about VACATION because it's such a trigger. So she's speaking on the sly right here. Did I spell
Yeah.
vacation wrong?
I thought you spelled action. I don't know.
One of the
Mhm.
things I want to do is Sesame Street Place. She wants. Do you want to go see Elmo?
Yeah.
Yeah, she wants to go see Elmo. I showed her the pictures of Kaya at the show, and I was like, "You want to go here?" I know it's not exactly there, but and she's like, "Yep." And I'm like, "Okay." And she's consistently saying yes, which is like not like her. So
Huge.
okay, so
Yeah.
that's Pennsylvania. It's about a 4-hour drive from here. So I'm just thinking we might do like a 3 or 4 day weekend. Maybe do like 1 or 2 other like maybe go to New Hampshire for like a weekend.
If I drove 4 hours, I would still be in the same state and in the middle of nowhere. So,
I know.
Because Pennsylvania's,
Summer.
I mean, that's like 5 states away or something.
yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, but like you drive through a state like we drive through a county. It's so funny.
Well, no,
I was looking at places with Kim as she's like trying to brainstorm the V Asian. And no, we're not going to do that.
Bridgerton?
Her trip. Anyhow,
Yeah.
So we're like looking, and I was like, oh, look, I found this extraordinary house. It's right by Who Gives a Care. And then I sent her the link. She's like, oh, this is great. It's also next week. You're ridiculous. Like, this is not what I've asked for. So then we changed the dates to when she wants. And it goes from like an $800, like, oh, bargain, because we're trying to fill our time, to like $5,000. And then
Yeah.
you have to pay if you want hot water. I mean, I'm making that up, but it's like,
yeah, so literally like every place that I'm finding is like $800 a night. And I'm like, no, I'm not. Like if I'm gonna pay $5,000, like I'm going to like Hawaii or like the Bahamas, or Turks and Caicos, Key West, California, like somewhere that it's gonna be like worth the money. Not to freaking Pennsylvania. We were looking to go to Tennessee. No, not for this much money. Sorry, we'll have to hit you up another time of year, I guess.
Yeah.
Not
How
and
do you
granted,
feel about soggy spring travel? Because July seems out of touch.
yeah, and we're looking for a place that like kind of fits everybody. So like I'm not expecting to pay like $100 a night or anything. Like I'm fine even going, a few hundred a night if we need to, but like not 900 a night. Like what? Like and some of them don't. They have a pool. I'm like, get out of here.
I know.
So yeah, we're just gonna do a couple of long weekends. I think that's the plan for now.
Everything's so expensive. I don't,
Mhm.
who are these people? Who are these people that can go to these concerts? Who
And
are
I'm
these
like,
people that can
oh, you
travel?
know what? Maybe we'll just go somewhere around here. So we're like looking in the Cape and we're looking to New Hampshire. And I understand people come from all over the country to go to Cape Cod. But like in my brain, it's here.
Down the road.
I'm that much money to stay in my own state. Like I don't care. It's just not happening. We'll just
Kim's
drive.
like, I'll go to the beach.
Literally, Mia goes, we could just go to the beach every day and drive there. I'm like, you don't even like the beach. What do you're not gonna go to the beach every day. You
So
fall
funny.
sir.
Because it doesn't feel like you're on vacation when you're at home. Like we have Whistler, which is like it's full of celebrities all the time. People come, like they fly, like they go to Whistler. Like it's a pretty well known area. But like, yeah, I mean,
You're not booking a trip right up there?
I know. It obviously like people come here to be on the ocean because not everywhere in the country is on the ocean. Like and like obviously we take that for granted because like we have it. And I'm always looking to go to the ocean, but in other places, not here. It's like
yeah.
we literally
I don't do the ocean. I know Kimmy, you're a big
specifies
ocean
palm
girl.
trees.
The
Palm trees and
Jaws
ocean.
would find me. No, thank you. Jaws
Oh
would
my
find me. Mm-mm.
So funny.
Nope.
There's this cruise that's coming up for a bunch of baseball moms. It's in January. And it's one of those things too where like
are you gonna do that?
I think I'm gonna, but you know, it's one of those things where if you like look at the link, it's like literally a cruise for $329. And then by the time you're even registering, it's like 800. You know, it's just like nothing is ever as real. I hate travel.
Those because it's all lies. I'm like, wait,
It's all
I'm
lies.
like, $529 a person. I'm like, this is great. It's like, oh, $4,800. I'm like, wait, how did that happen?
I mean, I could have gone to like Mexico or somewhere else for what we're doing now. Of course, the flights are a little different.
Girl, you could get a Sherpa to bring you to Peru for cheaper than you're flying to Minneapolis.
I know. But whatever, that's where my kid wanted to go. I mean, it was you or Mickey, and she chose Megan Rachel Flanagan. So
Ta-da.
there we go. That's her choice.
I've asked Alyssa, does she want to go see Minnie on a boat? Do you want to go see Minnie on a boat? Elsa? Olaf? No? Do you want to go on a boat? No? Oh, well, hopefully she doesn't jump overboard. You're happy? Oh, I love when you're happy.
Oh, I thought she said Mickey and Minnie. She's like, take me on a ship.
She has her little dog and she's moving his paws like this is happy.
Oh, she's like, this is my service dog. He speaks sign language.
So Rachel, go ahead. Show her happy.
Hey.
Have the dog.
Oh, that happy puppa. Look at him.
Are you kidding? Like
wicked smart.
Yep. So yeah, so we're gonna do a biggie in January where we're thinking of doing a cruise and then maybe stay on land. No, but maybe we'll sail by each other because it's in January.
I know this one is like, well, I'll send you the info. Man, it's exciting.
Yeah, so we're gonna do that, and then we're debating a Disney one or a regular one. No, you don't want to do a Disney cruise? Oh no. Okay, I'll bring Kaya. Okay.
She said, all right.
She said, okay.
Well, guys, let's finish this one up so that we can get on to our summer break. Can you believe it?
And then we're gonna do of staying on land in Florida. So that's the plan.
So cool. I didn't mean to cut you off. Hey, everybody, have a good summer.
Thanks for listening, everyone. We'll be back midsummer to check in with a live or something.
My episode, and I will decide when we leave. I
just did. I thought we were ending.
Sorry.
I'm just kidding.
I need a break. That's just so funny.
Wrap it up.
All right. Thanks for joining
us. It's not my episode. So Kim, we're waiting on you, sister. Are you still gonna vote for this podcast change name too? You were waiting on your vote. Finish.
You just finished it. I'm unclear if we have a clear cut outro, but
we surely don't. But I hope the intro to this episode is Kim going, this is my episode and we finish when I want.
Thank you everyone for joining us. Hope you have a and we'll be back with updates.
Oh. Thank you for joining us for this episode of the Talk Like a Mother Parenting Autism podcast. If you are enjoying our podcast, make sure to rate and review us wherever you listen. And if you'd like to support us, you can become a subscriber. Just check out the description of this episode. Give us a follow on Facebook and Instagram for more content, and we'll see you next time.